Good afternoon. When come to the Buddhism, I think in the Lord Jesus Song's Kungchik, it said all the stage of the path must be within the one session. One session mean whatever we do action, whatever we want to do something like maybe it take for 10 minutes, maybe it take more, maybe half hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever, like one unit of a practice, any practice, even just one recitation of a mantra, this has become a one session. So in that one session must be complete preliminary, actually, and conclusion. These three must come. Doesn't matter each session is a long or short. Like sometime you go to retreat, and you go to retreat, you do practice. But basically you start from one evening to until like a long month long, few months long, or like a week long, you do the retreat. And end of the day, you also dedication. This is one complete package. But another one is also from every day you have also pure sessions. So that pure session, even as a short session, must be preliminary, actually, and conclusion. These three have to come. So what is the preliminary? Preliminary is basically in this particular Vajra song, we're talking about preliminary is talking about basically bodhicitta. It's a preliminary practice. So that when talking about the bodhicitta, it included refuge too, because without the taking refuge to the three jewels, bodhicitta not exists. Make sense? So bodhicitta and refuge is kind of like similar. One is a kind of like rely on the three jewels. And another one is not just only rely on the three jewels, also by relying on the three jewels, you want to liberate every sentient being from the samsara. So that way, those two are similar. Intention as it's so reaching to the nirvana, liberation. That is what is taking refuge mean. Also same as a general bodhicitta means. So in here, in the text itself, it's a mention only preliminary practice as a bodhicitta, but it means that including all the other preliminary practice, like a common preliminary practice, uncommon preliminary practice, all those different preliminary practices, including. So what is the bodhicitta? Yesterday, the whole day, we spent time on about the bodhicitta. Bodhi means the awakening one or enlightenment, like Buddha. Citta means the mind to enlightenment. So it has a two set of a mind. One is to wisdom that seeking complete awakening mind. Like through the wisdom too, you will have a complete awakening of Buddhahood. Make sense? So that is called the Buddhi mind, mean the mind to enlightenment. The another set of aspect of the mind is called the compassion. So when talking about the bodhicitta, is a wisdom and compassion. Aspect of the wisdom is called the seeking to the enlightenment, and the aspect of the compassion is want to benefit sentient beings. So two aspects of the mind is called the bodhicitta. Because a lot of time people think somebody who compassionate, when somebody have a pure compassion, then they say, oh, this is true bodhisattva. It's not the same. Bodhisattva and being compassion is not the same. Being compassion means you want to help someone because somebody is going through difficulty. But bodhicitta means that not just generally help, like food, clothes, medicine, or kind of like a emergency relief. They want to help to bring that sentient being to the Buddhahood. Make sense? Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday, when I got back to the place I was staying,
Yeah.
in the stairwell there was a spider, and he probably wouldn't have been able to catch any flies in there and died. So it was probably compassionate to carry him outside because he would have died inside, but would have been bodhicitta because if he kills more insects, there's the karmic ramifications.
And in Tibetan, we way to say, spider nest, even in the temple, destroyed. Spider, even in the hand of the butcher, don't kill. So you cannot harm the spider.
Yeah.
You have no right to stop someone to create a negative karma by harming that individual. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But you have a responsibility of protecting other beings.
Yeah.
So that way spider nest destroying is not harming him directly, he's physically.
Yeah.
Make sense? He's just destroying his tribe.
Yeah.
But you cannot destroy that spider, because that spider is essential beings. So that is, you have to find the gap between these two. It doesn't matter. Even that spider is a really evil one. You have no right to kill that person, that spider, because then you create a negative karma. You may stop that spider, and then you create a negative karma. That way, this is a really, Bodhisattva. Sattva means that sometimes Bodhisattva have to make choice that it can cause that individual Bodhisattva can be gone to the hell because of that action. But if necessity, there's something that you're going to save many beings, then you need to add that one, like a captain compassion. Other than that, you have no right to judge on others. You can stop doing that one, but you have no right to destroy, harm that individual. Then you not become different than spider. Yeah. So this reason, bodhicitta is not just only kind heart. Bodhicitta is a specific responsibility of say, I'm going to bring all this being to Buddhahood. So that is what is a commitment of a being bodhicitta mean, bodhisattva mean. Not just only want to help, generally. Make sense? So this is a specific way. So that is the intention. Because if you have a good intention, with the good intention, if you perform certain action, that action can become good. Make sense? But if you have a wrong intention, through the wrong intention, if you perform something good, it becomes negative. Make sense? Like we always say the aid worldly concern. How it become aid worldly concern, your Dharma practice is if you have a wrong intention, motivated by the kind of like wealth and fame. If you do Dharma practice motivated by the wealth and fame, it becomes aid worldly concern. Dharma is the same. Your recitation mantra is the same. Prayer is the same. Because of your intention is wrong, that way it become a negative. How it become a negative is this is a long-term negative. Through that Dharma practice, what you done is not become a negative. But because of the intention, it will give you the result what you wishing. When you gain that result, you become a negative. Then you do lots of negative action because of that power. Like many people, when they get to the power, they use the what called the wrong way. Make sense? So power is the same. Power is the same, come from the wisdom, knowledge, ability. Because of your intention, because of your negative emotion, that power can become bad. Make sense? So that reason, even you have a great wisdom, if you have a wrong intention, that great wisdom transforms to the negative. It's a simple way. It's like people who making the weapon and people who making the medicine. Both need great intelligence. Make sense? Both need great intelligence to create something that is really extraordinary. But one, because of the wrong intention, created they produce something that destroy everything. One, because of the right intention, because then they created something that help everyone. Make sense? So this reason, intention is a really important part of in the Buddhism. That way, Lhasa Lama and every teaching said Bodhicitta is really important. You know, if you go to receive the talk from the His Holiness Dalai Lama public talk, his message is main message is be kind heart. Just become a good person. Because even in the Buddhism, there's one Indian scholar said, if you can become a good person, you have chance to reach to the divine. When you reach to the divine, nirvana is not far. Because sometimes we have this, lots of people have this idea about, oh, you can be great spiritually, great, spiritual practitioner, but then personality is not need good. It's okay to bad person. I don't think so that work. Makes sense? So point is here, when we're talking about the bodhicitta, mean basically talking about the altruistic mind. Put the other more important than yourself. Because when we think about only ourselves, with this emotion, everything what we do is it becomes slowly, it becomes negative. Based on our own intention, then we start harming others, we start cheating on others, we start lying, we start stealing, and we start killing. All those negative action is started because of the self-interest, self-putting first. Make sense? But when you start thinking for others, then those negative come less chance. The negative emotion, anger, hatred, jealousy, that kind of emotion will not come by thinking for others' welfare. All those negative emotions mostly come when we're thinking our own benefit. Make sense? So that reason in the Buddhism, we said, what is the main cause of samsara? Cause of samsara is attachment. What is the main cause of attachment is the self-cherishing. So because of the self-cherishing, we created the strong attachment. Because of the attachment, then hatred, jealousy, anger, all those other emotions will come. So this is root of the samsara is the self-cherishing. That way, Shantideva said, what is the difference between the Buddha and sentient beings? Buddha only think for others' sake. That will become a Buddha. When he was a Bodhisattva, he only think for others, welfare for other beings. Sentient beings only think themselves. So that way stuck in the samsara. Because so when we have this self-cherishing, self-centered, I think self-cherishing and self-centered may be a little bit different. Yeah, self-centered. Self-cherishing, I say maybe not negative. Self-cherishing, okay. You need to take care of yourself, your health, your spiritual, your path, anything, your education, or whatever need is, you need to take care. But self-centered created all the problem. Make sense? So this reason we need, especially nowadays. Because nowadays, people are not really simple anymore. Everybody get a great education. Because of the great education, people become really smart. Because of the smart and that smartness with self-center creating all the problem. Like 100 years ago, majority of people uneducated. So that way, uneducated people are really much simpler than educated people. So that way, education alone cannot make the society good. If we don't have good intention. Make sense? So lots of people think that education itself can make the successful the society. Actually, sometimes education is the creative problem. Your own circle of your mind. More you educated, become yourself, it's more complicated. When you're not educated, you become much more simple. Yeah. Simple things make happy. Now you're educated, your arrogance is increasing, your, impatient.
Patience.
No. Impatient, like you want more. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Whatever. That just greeting.
Insatiable.
Hmm? No. Never mind. Forget. So point is it. I think in the Buddhism, particularly in the Vajrayana, this altruistic motivation of the bodhicitta, without that bodhicitta, you even meditate on the deity. It's like meditating the corpse, soulless, heartless. Because the heart of the deity is the bodhicitta. Because deity manifests because of the bodhicitta. All the deity, all the Buddha are the embodiment of the bodhicitta. Make sense? So if you meditating on that deity without the lack of a bodhicitta, it never become complete. In the Tibetan, we said one stage you have no consecrate. It's just, we don't think as they are like as complete as a consecrate one. So like lack of a blessing, lack of a mantra inside, and then we become a mummy. So then what happened is people who practicing the deity without the bodhicitta, a lot of them born as a ghost, evil spirit, because they recite so much mantra, it become a powerful, but it never become good power. Why? Because you never change your intention. Your mind is always the same from the beginning to until your end of the life. Your intention is the same. You don't have a good intention of a bodhicitta. So I think this reason, like in Tibet, we have lots of monks who died and become a ghost. It's true. So Lamgye Rinpoche, His Eminence Lamgye Rinpoche said in the his Ngonto commentary, without the bodhicitta, if you practice the deity, peaceful deity, if you practice the peaceful deity, you have a chance can be reborn in the God realm. But if you practice the wrathful deity, you have really good chance to reborn in the evil spirit. And those evil spirit, no one can tame them. No one can tame them because they already know all the practice and they have enough power to reject, defend themselves from the spiritually try to taming. Really difficult. We had one senior practitioner who died, monk, and later harm many people. And normally there's a particular fire puja. It will tame all the spirit. And they invited the community, to the many monks many times. They couldn't burn him through the fire puja. Because reason is they already gained so much power by reciting mantra. So the reason, if you don't have a good intention of a bodhicitta, actually your deity yoga practice, you're not going to show what kind of result will gain from that. Make sense? So the reason I think practitioner, generally practitioner in the Mahayana, particularly Vajrayana, those two are most important for your practice. Bodhicitta and emptiness. If you don't have these two, no matter what you do, it becomes a complete practice. Without the bodhicitta and emptiness. If you have a purely, authentically bodhicitta and emptiness, anything is become a part of the Vajrayana. You're not going to find any action is not become a Vajrayana. Make sense? So this reason, the practitioner, yogi or whatever, Vajrayana practitioners, before the realization of the non-dual wisdom and after the realization of the non-dual wisdom, their contact is different. Like after you have really fully realized the non-dual wisdom, you allow to drink alcohol. Even the Vajrayana encouraging you drink alcohol. But before the non-dual wisdom realization, if you drink alcohol, they said in the Tantra, you will be reborn in the hell called the crying hell. Make sense? So when you have a realization of the non-dual wisdom, so like this morning, Khenpo Tsultrim said, 8 bhumi, then it's a contact, it's a totally different. So this is showing us these two, bodhicitta and emptiness, as a really important. So bodhicitta as an intention, we went. So now here, if you look at the text, page 66 said, the main practice has 3 parts. So deity, what's called bodhicitta as the preliminary practice, called the special preliminary practice. The main practice, meditating on the yidam, 1, accomplishing the lama, and taking up the practice of the Mahamudra. So actually, practice is a Mahamudra. Why Mahamudra is actually practice? Without the realization of the emptiness of the Mahamudra, you cannot eliminate the afflictive emotion completely. Like you can be great meditator. You can meditate for like somebody can meditate for continually without the distraction for a week. Still, you have no guarantee that you can eliminate all the afflictive emotion from the root. But if you have a direct realization of the emptiness, that is a guarantee that your afflictive emotion are completely uprooted. Make sense? So only antidote of the samsaric source of samsara, afflictive emotion, is the meditation on the emptiness. So realizing the emptiness and the free from samsara is same time. Whenever you realize the emptiness, you are free from samsara. So this reason, Panjana Paramita, as Buddha said, mother of all enlightenment. Because the Panjana Paramita is to teach the wisdom of emptiness. Through the wisdom of emptiness, anyone can reach to the nirvana or enlightenment. Make sense? So that is the Mahamudra. The realization of the Mahamudra is a great seal, mean that no one can change. That true nature, no one can change. The something no one can change, that is called the Mahamudra. But Mahamudra practice, you need the deity yoga practice and Guru yoga practice. Those two are really important. Why? Because of one thing is we are desire realm. Our attachment is a 24 hours with us. We're not free from attachment. We have so much attachment. We attach on our look, we attach on our position, we attach on our material, we attach on our name, we attach on our family, we attach on food, we attach on the clothes, everything we attach. Make sense? So that attachment is 24 hours. You're never free from that attachment. We don't have that much ignoring or afflictive emotion like, aversions. Sometime comes. Especially aversion, not that much. Time to time, we will get upset. We will get angry. But we're not angry for 24 hours. But our desire is 24 hours. Make sense? So that way we attach to our body, we attach to our place. With this attachment, there's no chance to liberation. So you have to learn how to cut the attachment. Make sense? But when we're talking about the cut the attachments, lots of people think as a, don't take care. Attachment and care is different. You can have a great care yourself. You can have a great care for your family. You can have a great care for all the beings who are around you, but you have to cut the attachment. Those two are different because care give you the joy, give other joy. Attachment give only miserable, suffering. Make sense? Result is different. So the reason we have to cut the attachment. So how do we cut the attachment? It's through like a deity yoga practice. It's the one really simple method to how to cut the attachment. We transform our place as a mandala. Make sense? When in the deity yoga practice, you transform your, if you practicing Chiresi, this place is become a potala. If you're practicing Tara, this place is become a Yulugoba as the pure land of the Tara, or Genesi or Tara or Amitabha, you can say this is a Sukhavati pure land, Devachin. So when you transform this place as a pure land, actually some part of your attachment is already gone. Make sense? You no longer see as an ordinary, oh, this is my property, this is my space, this is my house, this is my belong to me, and that's, no longer become that way. It's already said, oh, this is common space. Everyone should be reborn there, pure land. Make sense? So by mentally transforming from the ordinary place of your belonging property to pure land, it's already cut the attachment of the place. So through meditation on the deity's mandala is the method to how to cut the attachment to the place. Make sense? So actually you become more care, but less attached. When transformed to the deity's mandala, then you say, oh, this is, you have to be careful, you have to take care, you have to clean, you have to keep really nice, this is the holiest place now. Like if you have a house, one room is dedicated for the shrine. Actually, people take care that room is mostly clean, decoration, everything try to do, especially in the Tibetan tradition. And that room is a kind of like most take care room. But nobody belong to that room. It's a shrine room, So that way, it's a when you transform the place as a wherever you stay, place as a mandala, then you reduce your ownership. Oh, this is my place. This is my home. This is me, my, yeah. So it reduces the attachment. That is the method to how to cut the attachment by transforming your place as a deity's mandala. Yes?
How many times we should practice that in a day? 24 hours, we think that way?
Yes. In that, there are lots of practice you said 3 times a day, 3 times a night. So actually, that's a really tricky contact. When 3 times a day and 3 times a night is basically in the Buddhism text, 24 hours is divided in the 6 sessions. Divided on the 6 sessions. So nighttime is 3 session night, 3 session day. Actually, it's 24 hours. But if it's a beginning to say, oh, just you have to do 24 hours, you feel like, oh, that's too much. And just say similar, oh, 3 times a day, 3 times a night, you think, oh, that's possible I can do. So actually, it's mean that 24 hours, if possible. Then once you think about that one, think that way, then no matter where you go to, you see everything's pure land. So Mahamudra, one of the Jidisung's root guru, not one of the root guru of the Jidisung. And the Pomodoro Monastery is a kind of like a hellish in the mountain, kind of middle of the mountain. I only saw the photo. And down there, huge valley, yeah. Valley, yeah.
VALL.
And he said, for some people, this Ngashu Lung is the place name. Lung means the valley. It's be hell. For some people, this be pulent. Like if some people come here, if they have a devotion to the Dharma, this is the pulent. Because it makes them peace, happy, seeing that. This is the pulent. But then some have a strong hatred to the Dharma. When they come, this is the evil late, hell. Make them hell by seeing, hearing. Make sense? That way they get so upset. So that is this place cannot change, make different, but your perception. You know, when you like someone, that person is the most beautiful, most handsome, most beautiful, wonderful person. But then one day you have a problem. Then that interest is lost. Then that person is the most horrible. You don't want to see anymore. Every time you see, it makes you miserable. Yesterday that person made you so joyful every time you see, but today it made you miserable. So that feeling is given by your own perception. So that way, when we perceive this place, our place as a pure land, it becomes pure. So meditating on the mandala is the antidote to how to cut the attachment of the place. Yeah. Then so transform to the mandala. Then meditation on the deity, yourself transform into the deity. So now people ask, how come you can become deity? You are not deity. You are not qualified to become a deity. You are samsari beings, miserable beings, suffering beings. You don't have the deity's quality. You're not a Buddha. You're not, enlightened one. How can you transform yourself deities? So for that, you have to recognize that you have a Buddha nature. Every sentient being, even the, ugliest one can have the same Buddha nature as the most beautiful one. Biggest one have the same Buddha nature as the smallest one. So when come to the Buddha nature, every sentient being have equally same. You can call them Buddha nature, you can call the potential, you can call the seed. You can call the element. You can call this day we can say it's a genetic, yeah, scientifically, genes. The Buddha is every sentient being have. Because of that, we are, we're not pretending when we said, I am the deity. You're not pretending. You're not faking. You're not deceiving yourself. Because you have that potential. You have that seed. Like a nighttime, there's no sun, there's no light. But we knew sun is there. Only what we not see is because of the plane come between the sun and us. Yeah? Planet. So everybody knows now, sun is not gone anywhere. Sun is there, but we don't see the light. Same way, we have the Buddha nature, but we're not experiencing that. Why? Because it's what called obscured by the defilements. There's 3 different types of obscurations. Karmic obscurations, obscuration of the liberation, obscuration of the omniscience. Other than that, every sentient being have that potential, that nature. So because of that, you need these 3 three characteristics most important for the transforming yourself as a deity: clarity, purity, divine pride. So clarity is basically exercising, try to meditate on the clearly the deity form, color, shape, number of arm, number of head, all those ornament, everything, try to visualize it by using image like a picture or statue. And try to meditate. That's also really good for karma biting. When you meditate on the deity, that is a part of the also karma biting. Because by focusing on that deity and you're training your mind on the meditation. Then second one is clarity. Clarity means the purity. Purity means that you have to know the pure meaning. Why this deity appearing this way? Why Cheresi have 4 arms? Why Tara have only 2 arms? Why some Cheresi have 1,000 arms? They have it have some pure meaning, inner quality, each one. That way they have a different manifestation. Why some deity are red, some are yellow, some are green, some are blue. They have an inner pure meaning, each one their own meaning, quality. Based on that, they appear in this way. Like even the Tara, we have 21 Tara. And 21 Tara are not same looking. So I have a reason to why some Tara are yellow, some Tara are white, some Tara are red, some Tara are blue. Make sense? So this all, every single appearance of the deity have an inner meaning. That inner meaning appearing through the form, different form. So you have to know the inner meaning of why this way. Make sense? Like you see lots of high yoga tantric deities always have a consort, a union with a consort. That is a really symbol, is showing us a wisdom and a method. Always be inseparable, like 2 legs. If one leg is not there, other one cannot work. Continue. Make sense? So same way, wisdom and method have to be side by side to help each other. So, they were, if we don't know the inner meaning, then when we see the deity, then people have lots of different, some Theravada tradition or other, Buddhism, but none of the Vajrayana, when they see the wrathful, people get scared because they don't know what it means. One time, there's one lady, now she passed away. She went to a retreat and she hired someone to house sitting because she have many dogs, 3, 4 of them. And she loved Vajrayana. Vajrayana is most wrathful, one of the most wrathful looking. So that house sitting, that girl, she went to her computer and she made the home screen, computer home screen as Vajrayana. And that lady called her immediately. Said, you have to come right now. I cannot stay in this house 1 more minute. And that she got really, shocked and said, what happened? Why? She said, that girl said, you worship to the devil. I cannot stay here. So that kind of misconception come out. If you don't,
I had I don't know where she got it, but she had 2 cards, one of Genrezic and one of wrathful deity. And we were talking and she said, here, let me show you this. This is good and this is evil. And so I had to straighten her out. No,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So this, if you don't know the inner meaning, then you concept this way. Then you create the negative yourself, negative karma, negative emotion. So that way you must know the inner meaning of the deity, particular deity. It's called the purity, pure meaning. All the deity, different color, different form, different shape, have everything have behind the reason, behind the reason of the quality, or there's different reasons why they have to appear in this way, and that reason is always a good reasons. They never become upset that we're wrathful. Make sense? So knowing of the inner quality of the particular deity, then it become called the knowing the pure meaning. Make sense? Like if you read this one, these have all the pure meaning of the Chakra and the Vajravarahi inside the text. That's scary. Spy is everywhere.
It's probably from your laptop.
I have a Siri.
Yeah. Siri picks it up. Siri
Wow.
picks it up.
That's scary.
Yeah, it probably came from the laptop.
Yeah, it's from laptop.
Really?
Did that misplace this?
Yeah, no need any more llama. Just wow.
Okay. So we could try to look into it then.
They have to restart it.
Okay.
So look the page like here, recollecting on the pure meaning on the page 71. Said pure meaning of the circle of the protections. The circle of protection means the wheel of protections. Mountain of the flame as a purification of the stupidity. The net of the arrow is the purification of the anger. And the tent canopy. Okay, my pronunciation is different. Canopy are the purification of the desire. Samsara is the sun in the ripening of the shoot of the bodhicitta. The Kalaradri and Bhairava are the changing to the sea as a eye and a mind. Pure meaning of the essence of the father, mother deities, the Chakra and Vajravarahi. So you can read the whole the pure meaning better than me, so I don't need to read. But it's showing as all the in Latin within inner quality through the pure meaning. And you should know that little bit of the pure meaning. Why? Then you know the inner quality of the deity. Then you can have a really authentic devotion with the knowing. Like, for example, lots of people practice Genesis. So Genesis is one of the common practice. Genesis have a forearm. What does that mean, the forearm? What does it simplify? Forearm as a simplify for the four immeasurable. Love, compassion, joy, equanimity. Then you say, wow, Genesis is the compassion deity. Make sense? Then your devotion is become a more than image. Yeah, then you become a pure devotion. Otherwise, you just like that. Oh, this deity is really nice looking. So there's no devotion. Wow, this is amazing art. Just then you see as art. But then you say, oh, this Genesis have a four immeasurable. Then you see totally different. So that's the reason we must know the inner meaning of the deity, particular deity, whatever you're practicing. With that meaning, then you practice with the deity's heart, because all the inner meaning is related to the quality of the heart or the mind or the deities. Make sense? So then you can have a pure, authentic devotion to that deity. Then last one is called the divine pride. Sometimes it's a divine pride. In the Tibetan, it's called the Nganje Tempa, meaning stable or a steady it's kind of like steady belief. Can say stable belief, steady.
Khenpo Rinpoche defines it as when the visualization is fully stabilized.
Stabilize is through the practice. Yeah, this is different. But as I can say, so this is what is mean the steady belief is mean that you have to believe that you are the deity. Not because you visualizing, not because you transform, not because you do the practice chanting the prayer. You innerly. So that way we said, normally we say there's a true Buddha. Outer Buddha and inner Buddha. Outer Buddha is like a Shakyamuni Buddha, Medicine Buddha, Amitabha Buddha, all those Buddha who become Buddha earlier, who actualize the Buddha. Inner Buddha means that every sentient being everyone have their own inner Buddha. So we all have that inner Buddha. You can call the inner Buddha, you can call the potential, because sometimes we're using that too much word that, you are the Buddha. Then some people become lazy. Oh, I'm a Buddha. Samsara and Nirvana is the same. They use this kind of excuses word and they talk really fancy things, but they never do anything. They never pursued that one. You have to pursue it. You have to put effort to achieve that one. Make sense? Yeah. I mean,
I think you used the word confidence a while back. And that word confidence, I'm seeing it more and more. It really is better than, I think, gets to the point a little bit more clearly than pride.
Yeah, I think so. Because of pride, sometimes people think, oh, I am deity. You are not deity. Okay. You as a self, identical, identify with a particular, like I, Tsultrim Tenzin, is not a deity. I am the samsara being miserable one, suffering one, but the deity is not suffering. The deity is not samsara. But we all have this inner Buddha. You have to believe, you have to trust, you have to confident on that inner Buddha. Because, like a farmer, they put in the seed on the ground. Why they put the seed on the ground? Because they have the confidence that they're going to get result good from that. Otherwise, you're wasting, If you have no confidence, you're not going to waste that on the ground. Your little bit food is just throw in the ground and become food for the insect or bird. But you're going to get back good result from that. Make sense? So because that is the seed who can create this great result from that. So we need that belief. We need that trust. We need that confidence. So for that, you need the divine pride or whatever you use the language wise. So these three are the most important part. And from those three, at most important is the divine pride, that you need to believe or confident on you are the deity. Make sense? So then other two, even not complete. You don't have a complete clarity, complete purity, but still complete of your practice with this confidence if you practice. If you don't have this confidence, you practice with hesitation. You practice with a pretending. You practice with a lack of belief. Yeah, then it's not becoming complete. So that way, whatever we do, the deity must practice with this. Okay, so this is called the purity of the body. That's so Vajra body, which means that your ordinary body transforms the deity's body, which is the union of the appearance and emptiness. No longer blood, flesh, kind of like a body we have, no longer that way. So sometime on the three characteristics also they add, one is called the empty by nature. Then Vajra speech means the recitation of the mantra. So once you're visualizing the deity, then you recite the mantra. There's three mantras. When you recite the mantras, called the root mantra, essence mantra, very essence mantra. So root mantra is all the praise. Praise?
Praise.
Yeah, all the praise are root mantra. So basically praise, calling to the name of the mantra or reciting the essence mantra, it becomes closer to the deity. It's called the practice of approaching. Okay, so there's three type of practice, three different. First one called the approaching, by recitation of a mantra, by supplicating, by visualizing the deity. You approach, means you become closer to the deity. Approaching, yes, getting closer. Then when you're approaching, one day you become inseparable of the deity. Make sense? That's called the accomplishment. Accomplishing. Because you become the deity. You gain all the deity's quality. Then you become inseparable of the deity. One time Kachirabuchi said, I really like this one. He said, why we call the His Holiness Dalai Lama as a Cheresi? Because His Holiness Dalai Lama have all the good quality that Cheresi has. Cheresi's quality and Holiness Dalai Lama's quality is no different. That way, Holiness Dalai Lama is a Cheresi. So when we practicing, we become inseparable of that deity. That is what accomplishment means. Then finally, you can perform. Like right now, you do the Zambala Puja. Okay, today you do the really fancy Zambala Puja. There's no guarantee tomorrow you become rich. Because you perform it before accomplishing. Zambala Puja, long life Puja, you know, those the healing puja, all those are performing. So it means that basically you're giving. Yeah. So what you can give if you don't have anything. So that way people do lots of Zambala puja, they never become rich, still same, you know. Why? Because you performing without accomplishing. So this is like same as a window shopping.
So why do we do?
So that way it's supposed you shouldn't do that one.
We fix
First, it's a step. It's a approach, accomplishing, then perform. It's different, yeah.
Is that why you often say we shouldn't just rush to the beginning of the practice and get to the mantra?
Yeah.
You got to do the
Yeah,
other part to
yeah.
approach and really see yourself.
Yes, complete.
But Khenpo, so the basic first, before doing these three things, our intention is very
Yeah, of
important
course. Yeah.
before doing these.
Yeah.
Before approaching.
Yeah. So yeah. So then, but when you do this practice, you may slowly cut your own attachment to your place, your home, your body. But now you build the attachment to the deity, attachment to the mandala. Make sense? You start building attachment to the mandala, to the deity's form. So also that need to cut. So how to that cut is a conclusion, dissolution. You know, you build all the mandala by visualizing the deity's mandala, deity, all the principal deity, right? You know, everything's built. Then end of that's everything dissolve. Dissolution. You know, then turn to the nature of emptiness. That is a antidote of the being attached to the deity. Make sense? So that is the main reason why we're practicing the deity. Now, next one is a Guru Yoga. After the deity, you visualizing yourself as a deity, you meditating Guru on your crown or front of you or at your heart. In this sadhana, in the Digong practice called the fourth session of four Kaya Guru Yoga. Four Kaya Guru Yoga, like first is called the Nirmana Kaya. Nirmana Kaya, that's this one Khenpo Rinpoche explained. No, Nirmana Kaya is for the like a beginner practitioner. You need a teacher that is approachable, because the Nirmana Kaya is appearing to the ordinary beings. Ordinary people can see the Nirmana Kaya. Make sense? So you need a guru as a Nirmana Kaya, which is mean the like Shakyamuni Buddha at the present, he is the Nirmana Kaya. He come on this planet, give Dharma teachings. With all the reaching to the first Bhumi, people can see him, people can hear contact and receive teachings from Shakyamuni Buddha. That is called the Nirmana Kaya Buddha. Make sense? Then, second one is a Sambhoga Kaya. Sambhoga Kaya is a Buddha Parachana in here. So Sambhoga Kaya is a mainly who can see the Sambhoga Kaya is when you reach to the first Bhumi, especially 8th Bhumi to 10th Bhumi Bodhisattva, they can directly see the Sambhoga Kaya. So when you upgrade your practice, then you have ability capable to see the Sambhoga Kaya deity. Make sense? So then you can receive. So that way, deities Sambhoga Kaya and Nirmana Kaya, those called the Rupa Kaya. It's a form body. So why is it called the form body? They manifest as a form. Form two different form called the pure form that can see the impure disciple or impure recipients. It means the samsaric beings. That's called the Nirmana Kaya. And the form that can see by Bodhisattva, like basically maybe first to 10 Bhumi, and particularly 8 to 10 Bhumi. It's called the Sambhoga Kaya, pure disciples. So then those two are also different. One is called the Nirmana Kaya, is a symbol of renunciation. You know, that way all the Nirmana Kaya form is a really simple cloth, just Dharma robes, the sign of a renunciation. So they call the Nirmana Kaya is mainly manifest as a form of renunciation. But Sambhoga Kaya is called the enjoyment body. Not because they're wearing jewelry things, because they have a direct realization of the emptiness and bodhicitta. That way they have an inner joy, true joy. You know, who truly have a pure joy is a person who have a direct realization of emptiness. When you see the empty nature, then you get pure joy. Right now, no matter what we try to make joyful with the food, clothes, anything, they never give you true joy. Yeah. That way, some people, first they want to something, but then when they get, that's not good enough, something else want. So they never become satisfied. They never become happy, no matter what they gain, no matter what they get. Why? Because the materially cannot give you the true joy. Actually, true joy is through you're seeing the true what the nature of the phenomena and true nature of your mind. That one gives you the true joy. So nirvana kaya enjoyment body means the Buddha, of course, Buddha himself with the full of enjoyment of the realization of complete Buddhahood, but receiving the being that they can see, they have a true joy in their mind because they have a direct realization of the emptiness and non-dual wisdom. Why they have too much joy? We don't have that joy. What makes us not joy? What makes us suffering? What makes us miserable? Attachment. When like a material, anything, when you like so much, it gives you too much suffering. But then slowly, slowly your liking is gone, then you have no problem. Make sense? When you buy the car first time, it gives you heartache when somebody tries to drive. You don't want anyone touch on that. You really don't like, yeah? But when it's become old, then he said, no problem. Oh, you take it, no problem, After that person come back, you never check it's a scratch or anything. You're worry free. Make sense? Yeah. So the more we attach, more give you suffering. So those Bodhisattva, Buddha, they're totally free from attachment. That way they have a pure joy. So that way, those Bodhisattva, one person give the massage with the oil massage on the one leg, and another one person cut their leg from flesh by knife. They have the same feeling. Because they have a realization of the no self, cherishing, free from attachment. Make sense? So that way, those Bodhisattva, they can truly enjoy. They have a pure enjoyment. Why? Because they have a realization of emptiness. What make the realization of emptiness make them pure joy? Because they're free from attachment. So all the problem is created by the attachment. Really, all the problem. The reason Tiluba said to the Naropa, son, we're not bounded in the samsara by appearance. We are bounded by the grasping. So just cut the grasping. So this is called the enjoyment part, Sambhoga Kaya. So once you reach to the 8 to above, then you can see the Guru as a Sambhoga Kaya. Like when Kambopa was leaving from the Milarepa, and Kambopa asked to him, when I can take the disciple? And Milarepa's answer was, when one day you will have a special realization and you will have experience of the bliss, emptiness, luminosity, similarly named, but a totally different one. At that time, you will see me true as a Buddha. Truly Buddha. And that time you take disciple. So that is when he reached to the 8th bhumi, then he can see your Guru as a truly Buddha. So that way, once we reach to that state of the label, then we have chance to have see Guru as a Sambhogakaya. Then when we reach to the Buddhahood, then Guru as a Dharmakaya. So in why then Vajrayana always said from the beginning to we have to see as a Guru as a Dharmakaya. How come Vajrayana never said see Guru as a Sambhogakaya for the beginner? Reason is a Vajrayana called a Palayana. Pala means the fruit. We already practicing the result of Buddhahood. When you reach to the Buddhahood, you have to see Guru as also Buddha. What Buddha? Dharmakaya Buddha. So we already living on the result state of the result through the Vajrayana practice. So that way I call the resulted vehicles in the English, I think, yeah. So in the resulted vehicle, everyone see the Guru and or the Buddha of the Dharmakaya. So who can see the Buddha of the Dharmakaya is directly as a Buddha. Make sense? So then no one else can see. But here, because this for us easier to meditate, that way Vajradhara you can see. That is the third Guru as a Dharmakaya, as a Vajradhara. Then fourth yoga of Guru as a Savvivakakaya. Savvivakakaya means the inseparable of the three kayas. Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, Dharmakaya, when they are inseparable, it's called the Savvivakakaya. So how we practice is in the Savvivakakaya is when you meditate, yourself and the deity inseparable. I'm sure you saw this many times. Guru, deity, your own mind, inseparable. So that is what is Guru Yoga of the Savvivakakaya. When you see you and your Guru as inseparable. Make sense? That is what is the union of the your Guru Yoga of the Savvivakakaya. So through this to Guru Yoga. Why we need a Guru Yoga now for the practice of Mahamudra? Practice of the Mahamudra, realization of the Mahamudra, there's a two cause. Vast accumulation of merit and Guru blessings. So how we accumulate the vast accumulation merit through the Yidam deity. In the Yidam deity, we accumulate merit, accumulate the wisdom. Like we took refuge, we meditated on the four immeasurable, and we're offering to all the deities. Make sense? So those called the accumulation of the merit. Then completion stage is called the accumulation of the wisdom. Through the Yidam deity practice, we accumulate. So that way, lots of people say, oh, Shwanam must be simple. You should make the most elegant Shwanam is better. Because the more you make the better, is the more accumulate the merit. Because you use the material to make. Because a lot of time people said, oh, need a simple. For me, Shwanam must be really fancy. Because it's a part of the offering. Adisha said, offering must be arranging like even your friend get jealous. If you can decorate your house, your friend get jealous, it doesn't matter, it's not a big deal. But if you can decorate your shrine, even your friend get jealous, that is the good. Because that is a part of the offering. Even there's involvement of the arrogant and attachment, it's just okay. It's a good way. I believe that way. Shrine room must be decorated beautifully. Much as you can things can put there, I think good. That way I try to collect as much as I can to try to put here. Reason is that one. I believe that way. You know, the lots of flower, all the ornament, whatever you can just put everything part of the accumulation of merit. It's an offering to the deity, Buddha, three jewels, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Yeah. So deity yoga is a mainly practice of the also accumulation of merit. Then through the Guru yoga, we receive the blessings. With these two, vast accumulation of merit and a pure the Guru blessing, then you have chance to realization of the Mahamudra. Without these two, there's no other cause to realization of Mahamudra. So I think yesterday I mentioned from the Sarahas Vajra song. Tondal henchi kibe yishidi sosa triba jabe laje da tondela me chilo konale kengashi ke top numa is in the I think this is saying by Saraha. Ultimate nature, co-emerge wisdom. Is only through vast accumulation of a merit and purifying the negative and blessing of the Guru who have a high realization. Because if you don't have a high realization, you cannot bless anyone. As earlier I mentioned, if you have nothing to gain, how you can give to someone? You know, Guru blessings is so, but it's not only Gurus, also your devotion. You need a devotion, to strong devotion. More you have a devotion, that much you receive the blessings. If you don't have a devotion, like even you meet with Holiness Dalai Lama, you just meet one person. Oh, he's cool. I heard lots of people say, he's really cool, he's really good, you know, but they don't have that devotion. So they don't feel any blessings. Like Tibetan people from Tibet, in their life, they have one wish that they want to see the Dalai Lama before they died. If they can see the Dalai Lama before they died, they fulfill their life. Many people told me that one. So that kind of devotion they have that one. So that those people, when they see Dalai Lama, and they become so emotional, you know. So these two are the main cause of realization of the Mahamudra. So that way, deity yoga and Guru yoga is a reason, is a why need for the Mahamudra, for the actual practice.
I have a question.
Yeah.
During the seminaries, we practice Guru yoga. And we do that practice primarily through the praise of the golden lineage.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Lineage over and over again. Am I correct to assume that the function of that practice is to cultivate that devotion and increase it? And then when we move into the Mahamudra, we start with the Nirmanakaya as a practice by itself, then Sambhogakaya a practice by itself, or is all of it together?
No, it's just in the Digung, we have this Guru Yoga and also Mahamudra itself Guru Yoga, but the last place they don't have this Guru Yoga separately.
Yeah, because
So same Guru Yoga. Yeah.
It's four.
Yeah. This is
Five different.
Yeah. Four Guru Yogas. This is called the four Kaya Guru Yogas.
The four Kaya plus it has the
Yeah,
Guru Yoga.
yeah, preliminary. Yeah.
Just a personal question.
Yeah.
Devadorsha, where is that? The
Every sadhana have a the extends or can say long sadhana. Every sadhana have all those preliminary practice. Everything.
But is Devadorsha?
Extend. You see the Devadorsha one is the shortest one. There's nothing have.
No, but is it the four Kaya together?
You can say that way. Yeah, you can say that way.
Because it does.
Yeah.
Even the the watered down version that I have is
You can say that way. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so this is why we have to practice the Guru Yoga and Deity Yoga. Make sense? Yeah. Because sometimes people it seems that, oh, this is so complicated. Why? This should be simple. Because our mind is really complicated. For that antidote, that need complicated. Because we have this negative karma, really heavy. Habitual tendency, really heavy. So eliminating that one need a really complicated method through that we can eliminate. Make sense? So, okay. Want to take short break? Yeah. Okay. Now, fourth essay. No. Now it's called the chapter 5 on the page 98, called the Mahamudra practice. So, mudra is the word of the Mahamudra. Mudra is basically hand implement, hand, what called the
Symbol.
sign, yeah, symbol. Hence, it's have a sign language. So, I think this really is talking about that mudra. So, this teaching is those all the Mahamudra teaching come from India directly. Those all the yogis, the Mahamudra teaching, what we translate into Tibet is original in the Sanskrit. So all the teaching of the Mahamudra is original in Sanskrit. I hate to say this one, but other teaching like a Dzogchen or other ones, they are not really proof that came from India, because there's no original Sanskrit. If you try to bring the trail, only Mahamudra can find into trail that come from India, really. So I'm not saying is good or bad anything, but Mahamudra is originally came from Indian Mahasiddhas, and Mahamudra is, I think, according to the Drupa Pema Gabo, is not really teachings as like a scholarly study. Mahamudra is not really teaching as a scholarly study or something that can, learn in the school. I think mostly is a Mahamudra is when they have experienced through the Tomo meditation, and through the Tomo meditation to gain the experiencement, realization. That realization is they sing as a song, Vajar song, though they kind of like express their experience, their realization through those song. So that is what is become a Mahamudra Upadesha. Updesh means the kind of a instruction or kind of message. So those great Mahasiddha, they left their message of their realization through their expression of the singing Vajar song. That has become a Mahamudra. And until I think Kaboba, there's no really text called the Mahamudra text, they just study. But in the Kamboba's time, and Mahamudra, I think he created like called the Sudra tradition and Tantric tradition. So why is a Sudra tradition? Sudra tradition is basically called the union of the luminosity and emptiness. So luminosity as your nature of mind. So based on some saying is a Sudra tradition, Mahamudra is based on the Uttara Tantra teachings. Based on the Uttara Tantra, Kamboba emphasizing on the Mahamudra of the Sudra tradition. And based on the Tantra, Vajrayana, as Kambapa emphasized on the Tantric tradition, which is the union of the bliss and emptiness. So this is what is I think saying as a Mahamudra is so basically through the some degree of a method practice, through that method practice you gain the certain realization. That realization is called the Mahamudra. So because why it's called the mudra is also mudra means the seal. One way is kind of a hand gesture, but another way is a seal, because once you seal something no one can change. So that nature of that state of that nature, no matter how powerful, no matter how skillful, no matter how knowledgeable, you cannot change that nature. Like I was this morning talking to the Khenpo Rinpoche, lunchtime. I said, generally we said once you gain the power on your mind, you can, control the elements. But truth is the reality itself is no one can control. That nature no one can change. Make sense? So Buddha, like Buddha and Milarepa, both of them cannot kill by the poison, cannot kill by the fire, weapon, anything. But when the reality of the nature of the impermanent, it come, their element, and one day they become old and they died. So that nature no one can change. No matter how powerful you become, you cannot stop aging. Make sense? So those all the great Mahasiddha from India historically, including the Pema, they said that they achieved the what called the immortality, but we couldn't see them anymore. So that is showing us no one can change the reality of nature itself. Nobody have ability to can change that one, because no one can change the nature. So that way, the seal means that no one can make it undo that one or make different from that order of the nature. So that is what is Mahamudra means, seal of nature. So that nature is no one can change. And this one divided into the three, called the base Mahamudra, path Mahamudra, and resulted Mahamudra. So base Mahamudra is a talk about the Buddha nature. Ground Mahamudra, ground Mahamudra is a talk about the Buddha nature. So no matter how powerful, no matter how skillful, you cannot change the nature of Buddha nature. No one can change. Make sense? So that unchangeable, that nature, that is a base for everyone have, for primordially exists for every sentient beings. Because of that base, we can build a path to and reach to the Buddhahood. If we don't have that base of a foundation, no matter how much we put effort, we never become Buddha. Make sense? So we have to have that base of foundation. That's called the ground Mahamudra, which is the Buddha nature. So ground Mahamudra as a changeless. And also we can say another way is because of this ground, we can have hope to become Buddhahood, by following to the path. So the path Mahamudra is you receive the instruction from the Guru. So path Mahamudra basically divided into the two, karma abiding and vipassana. Karma abiding is actually practice of how calm your mind. I want to read something from here. I think this is you'll get. Okay. Regarding this, there are two sections, stage of the instruction and pointing out the instructions. Then the stage of the instruction said, regarding the first on this, there are two subscriptions. That the giving instruction on the samadhi and the prajan paramita or the shamatha and vipassana. So samadhi and prajan paramita or shamatha and vipassana its meaning is same. Samadhi means the concentration. Prajna paramita means the wisdom. Prajna. Pra means the kind of the supreme. Jnana means the knowledge. One of the highest knowledge. So that word prajna. So same as a shamatha and a vipassana. To practice this, there are two instructions. Regarding the first, shamatha, generally, if one apply the meaning of the abiding in the tranquility undefiled by the fabricated conceptuality in the mind, this is what is known as shamatha. To accomplishing this, there are two shamathas, with the object, shamatha, and without the object. So here said, meanings abiding in the tranquility undefiled. Yeah, undefiled. So shamatha is basically how to eliminate our afflictive emotion. You know, so that way, lots of people think that shamatha means that just calm. It's not about the just calm. You know, so that way there, I think you can say meditation, there's a two way to meditate, you know, temporary benefit and permanent benefit. Temporary benefit, just stop thinking. It helps you to relax, which is a lot of people using this day, modern age. You know, they call the mindfulness. Just stop thinking and just calm yourself. And that is the thing, that is a meditation. It's a temporarily, it helps. But that here is not that one. You have to free your mind from the defilement. That's the main purpose of a meditation. Conceptual thought. You know, because our mind never rests. It's continually a wave of a thought. One after one, never stop. Make sense? So,
How come?
huh?
How come?
Because a habitual tendency. We have the habit of thinking too much, thought. So because of that habit, never stop. This. So you know, tranquilize.
Yeah.
Tranquilize is not a good word, but it works. It's perfectly workable. To calm the mind, to soften it.
Tranquilizing from the afflicted emotion. Mind kinding from the, or making undefiled. That is the main purpose of shamatha is. You know, so that way, even you cannot just do the straight to top and say the meditation like this, you posture that way. Even another way, you can also tranquilize your mind from the afflicted emotions with the mindfulness. Every day, whatever you do, whenever you have afflicted emotion, immediately recognize that. So in the Buddhism, you know, main point of the meditation on the shamatha, meditation on the shamatha, see, tranquilizing your afflicted mind. Make sense? Yeah. So how we can tranquilize the afflicted mind? Is through the emptiness and compassion. So that way, shamatha is not like a shamatha alone. Shamatha also supported by the vipassana. Vipassana supported by the shamatha. So these two together, vipassana and shamatha and the vipassana together you can eliminate the afflictive emotions. This morning, Khenpo Tsultrim mentioned that one. From the word web Buddha contact. And the beginning of the chapter 8, this one, with the great meditation through the Vipassana, and all the afflict defilement are eliminated. So that way, first need a karma abiding. Because like when you receiving teaching on the Mahamudra or emptiness, you understand what this really mean. You understand perfectly, but you couldn't stay on that. The first moment you understand, second moment you already forgot. Why? Because your mind is not really tranquilized. Your mind is not really disciplined. You cannot control your thought. That way that thought disturbed. Like when water is clean, you see all detail inside. But immediately wind or some movement come, water become disturbed. Then that image is destroyed. You couldn't see anymore, yeah? Like when water is clean, you see the moon clearly in the water. But immediately water shake, water move. The moon reflection is gone. Same way, we can understand through the teachings, meaning of Mahamudra. But it never stay there because of lack of karma abiding. Because your mind cannot stay on the one pointedly.
That's that question I wanted to ask you now.
Yeah.
I think this might be a good spot for you to answer, because I think it might have to do with Mahamudra. But Naropa has a quote that's translated into English as, "One need ask no more when the true nature is seen."
Yeah.
I guess it has, once you see the truth of Mahamudra,
Yeah.
you're not gonna.
Yeah. Now you don't need anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, then there's nothing, because within this true nature, everything is manifest. Make sense? Then you don't need, actually, if you try to ask more question, you try to do more ritual, it become a distraction. Yes?
I do not know if this is out of context, but in science, as they said, the brain has lots of synapses. And once the drug, because it reminds me of tranquilize the word. So when the drug came in to that, the brain has lots of synapses and lots of thinking of lots of thoughts, they use drugs to control it. So it's like tranquilizer.
Yeah.
So the mind at the time will just like not thinking anything or just zombie or just calm down. I do not know how you relate that with our teachings with the science.
So it's just like this. If you're a teenager, you like to go to party. Yeah, you like to go to party. And your parents said, you're not allowed to go. They lock your door inside that room.
There is a window.
You cannot go anywhere. No, you cannot go anywhere. You cannot go anywhere. Okay, everything's locked. Are you be calm in there? You couldn't go, but you're not calm. But look like so you kind of like stay in your room, but you have no choice. So meditation is like that. It forcefully make you calm, but you're not really calm. Because whenever you get chance, immediately you go out. So medication, longest is medicine, whatever call that ones, seems like you're calm. But that limitation is run out soon. It stay only a few hours, yeah? How many hours can stay each medication? It may be strong ones stay longer, but it never be. So it's that those medication not really calm your mind, force your mind calm. So whenever you get chance, immediately become the same way. So that way, through the medication, if your mind calm, mind is not really calm. But it's kind of like like you lock into your room. But one day you become a more responsibility person. Okay, you don't need a log anymore. You will not go anywhere. You not do all those stupid things called mature. You become mature enough. Then you know how to discipline yourself. So that is different between the medication and calm abiding.
I think there is one other difference with common abiding. The mind is vivid and supple.
Yeah, and
It's brilliant and it's
Yeah.
flexible and it's acute, it's
Yeah.
able to respond
Yeah.
quickly.
Hmm.
Whereas with medications or other forms, it's the mind is, there is no sound.
Yeah.
The mind is not making
dull.
sound,
yeah,
but it's not vivid. The quality of vividness, I think the literature
yeah. It's
describes
called the luminosity.
luminosity.
So
the
clarity is
vividness.
not there. Your mind isn't when through the medication. Yes, what she's saying is, I think that's right. You don't have awareness. They like mind is put halfway sleep. Even you not really sleep, mind's halfway sleep. So you're not thinking clearly. You become like fuzzy, kind of calm, but not really calm. Make sense? So I think that's a huge difference. So one is come from the inner, within the mind, calmness. Another one is artificial calm around the mind. Yeah. So it's just like mind is when you calm, it's the mind is like become a nuclear power. All the energy is forced to be inside something. When that power of what called this shield of the medication is break, then it's back to normal. That way, there's no cure by taking that medication to that conceptual. Only reduce, only calm, only controlled. Yeah. If through the medication, by taking one medicine, you cure your mind on that conceptual, aggressive cure, then that means that through the medication, you can get the calm abiding. But there's no cure through the medication. Your aggressive is come back again, same way.
I think Kenshin said something really important this morning. He said conceptual thoughts don't go away when you're practicing calm and abiding. They're there. It's just you're not relating to them. You're not attaching.
I think
to them. You're not grasping them. He was very clear and he made the comment, actually, he went on with it a little bit. He said thoughts don't go away, and he started talking about the worst thing you can do is fight the thoughts. That the function of the mind is to have thoughts. But calm and abiding is when you just let the thoughts be. You don't do anything with it.
I think cannot say thought is not gone anywhere. It's a little bit too much. Thought is gone, but the seed of thought is not gone. So this is different. I think my point is what I see is just calm abiding is like a forest is caught on the fire. Completely forest is burn. There are no more forests. Make sense? Now, many years the mountain will be empty. They are nothing. They are no tree. They are no bush. Naked mountain. You think the forest is totally gone? You not see the forest. There's already burned down on the root. But when the water come and slowly soil is restore, then tree come back. The root's still there. So this is different. If you eliminate your thought through the calm abiding, you cannot eliminate the root of the conceptual thought. You can eliminate the thought. Yeah, you can free from the thought. So you can become a period, but seed is there. But if you eliminate the thought through the vipassana, meditation or the emptiness, you cannot, you can eliminate the seed of that conception. So that way, without the emptiness and the compassion, if you meditate, You even can gain to the reborn in the formless realm. That formless realm, many eons, long period of time, there are no conceptual thought at all. Form realm and formless realm. But then when condition come back, the conceptual come back. Only after meeting with the condition. Buddha's time, one monk went to on the forest. So he stayed a long time in the forest, meditating. So one day he said, I'm arhat. I'm free from conceptual thought. I don't have any more conceptual thought. So he came on town. I achieved arhat. So he really thought he achieved arhat. So then he went in the town to begging food. Then he met with all the condition. Then his all emotion came back. So when he was in the forest, he no longer had the conceptual thought. But because of the seed of the conceptual thought still there, when that seed meet with the condition, it came back live. So like when burn forests meet with the condition of the rain and moisture and all those, together heat, forests come back. So that way, I don't know what, I mean, I think in general what you was saying is you're not totally free from conceptual thought.
Yeah, that's.
But you are free from conceptual thought at that moment. You are free from conceptual thought. You can eliminate the conceptual thought through the meditation, but cannot uproot it. Because the still seed is there. So when forest is burned by the fire, all the tree is gone.
So.
Tree is gone, but the still root is there. That way can come back the tree
So
from that root.
In Vipassana, we are uprooting the seed using your analogy.
Yeah.
So now my question is, if that seed is completely uprooted, where does the description and quality of the Mahasukhaya, bliss, luminosity, these are all those seeds. So if
No, it's a seed of the conceptual of the dualistic, but that is not seed of the conceptual thought of like a afflicted emotion, or that's different.
okay,
They still can have a conceptual of the dualistic. So that way you can still have a bliss, appearance, all this.
okay,
It's a different. Yeah, what is different between your dreaming and next day remember the dream? That much different.
Got it.
How is that, Khenpo?
Like right now, what we see is as the same as at the stage of the dreaming. We couldn't see this is illusion. We see this is real. The Bodhisattva, they see, but they see this is illusion. This is not real. Like when we're dreaming, it's real. But when we wake up, when we remember our dream, it's illusion. That's different. So that way, that part, that much can have that one. I mean, we're not saying it's right after the, Vipassana, realization of the nature of a mind, you become a Buddha. It's not saying.
Yes.
There are many stages have to go.
It will take the landscape.
Yeah, I know. So that way, take it easy.
That's next to impossible at this point of time.
Yeah, don't rush. So this is what is shamatha mean, the Kamabhaya meditation. Really. And there's a lots of method with the sign, without sign, with the breathe, without the breathe. There are lots of things. Sometimes we use the method as they all are kind of like a step by step we have to use. I don't think so it's necessary. Just use whatever suitable to you, whatever comfortable to you for the training your mind. One thing is you using sign with sign, object without object, mindfulness. Mindfulness is the most important. And the only one things Kamabhaya said, one-pointed mind. That is, it didn't say stop thinking. It didn't say, you have to change all those meditation, different things, with object, without object, with sign, without sign. It didn't say any of those, you have to change. There are many choices in the Buddhism. Reason is because of different capacity beings. That way, each one is suitable to the certain things, not everything. So through this, you can use whatever you, but still there's a kind of like favorable condition for the Kamabhayati meditation. So I think like favorable condition should be good environment, good place, lack of distraction, lack of dangerousness. Because if not good environment, it affects your health. When you affect your health, you cannot continue meditate. If you don't have a good condition, then you cannot meditate continually. So lots of those practitioners, they try to find the place that is easy to provide the food and clothes, things that easy to find. But same time, not too close from the distraction. Daytime distraction by the human, nighttime distraction by the vicious animals. Because both can become a distraction, both can become a dangers for your continual practice. Yeah?
I have one more.
Yes.
So with these practices, as you said, that there must be a condition for you to practice vipassana. It boils down to karma of the person, right?
Yes. You need good merit. Good merit to support, without a good merit. And even you want, there are all different type of obstacle comes. Like I really want to receive the blessing of the Naropa's ornament, bone ornament. Like before I couldn't go. Then because of the lack of money and many things problem, couldn't go when they reached me. Then finally I'm capable, can go to, I have a passport, I have a money, I can travel, I got sick.
So you earned merit, Khenpo?
No, I have not good merit to receive the blessing from the Naropa's ornament. I have lots of good merit to receive lots of things, but on that, I never get chance to. So that's just example. Lots of time we wishing to be, and including not the merit, it's also including losing interest. It's a lack of the merit. Gaining all those leisure endowments is not easy. Having freedom from the physically, freedom from the emotionally, freedom from the financially, those all coming together is not easy. Only lucky one have this all chance. Really. Make sense? So yes, of course, need a really good condition, good merit. So with this, then we can say calm abiding. Make sense? Then your mind is calm. It's called the Xinjiang. You have to gain the certainty of the Xinjiang Dewa. Xinjiang Dewa is a bliss of the flexible. Basically, it's a mind become a flexible, body become a flexible. Right now, our body is not really flexible. After they try to sit in meditation posture, like 2-3 minutes after you start pain in the back, knee, hips, everywhere pain start. So that's showing us our body is not really flexible yet. Same body flexibility. How to say this? Yeah, flexibility. Flexibility.
There you go.
Body flexibility. So it's also wherever you sit, just can be sit there. Become like that. Then mind flexibility, you see, wherever you put thought, it stay in there, that thought. So that way, if not staying that way, then you have to train your mind. Try to stay on one thought. Wood object, wood object. Wood object, don't use something as a bright because it's not good for your eye. Like they said, don't use the white flower. There's a white, those who really bright one, a bright one is not good for your eyes when you're using wood object. So something that's not really unhealthy for the eye or not healthy for the emotion. What is not healthy for the emotion is any object bringing you to the negative emotion. Make sense? Any kind of negative emotion bringing you, then you shouldn't use those objects. So that way, in the Lars of meditation and instruction, they said, focus on the one pointedly mind on the virtuous object. It means the virtuous object means that something that brings you the positive feeling. Even that is statue, if they have some history with you, some kind of like a, sad feeling from that statue, shouldn't use that one. Because you're not going to have that positive. Like, for example, you have one statue, and this statue have related to that statue have a really sad history with you. Make sense? Then you shouldn't use that one, because whenever you use that statue, all those sadness come back. And the mind become a distraction. You cannot stay one pointedly on the virtue. Make sense? So I think that is really important. You need emotionally healthy environment. Emotionally healthy environment is that any kind of object, make sure it not bring to the bad feeling, bad emotion. Make sense? Yeah. So other than that, anything is, I think, should use. Nagarjuna, one day he was later in life, he went to South India. He lived in South India. And he was in the forest, live in the forest. And the old guy come, he was caretaker of the buffalo. You know the story. He's a caretaker of the buffalo. Whole life he take care of the buffalo. So they come in the forest to, feed the buffalo. Then he met Nagarjuna, and Nagarjuna said, old man, come here, I will teach you meditation. And Nagarjuna said, okay, now on you meditate on me, my body. And the old man tried to sit down and close his eyes. And he said, Master, I cannot meditate on you. And Nagarjuna said, what happened? What do you see? He said, whenever I close my eyes, I only see the buffalo. Because his whole life he lived with the buffalo. So whatever familiar to you, it becomes first things in your thought. So Nagarjuna said, okay, now you meditate on the buffalo. So when he meditated on the buffalo, he stayed in the cave, long meditation, many days. One day Nagarjuna said, now come out. He said, Master, I couldn't come out. My horns are stuck in the cave. He feel he have a horn now. He become a really buffalo. So Nagarjuna said, okay, visualizing your hand as a saw, cut the horn. And he cut the horn, then he, managed to come out. So then Nagarjuna said, now you transform buffalo to me, to Buddha. So that is how you train your mind, whatever flexible, whatever easiest to you, anything that bring you the good emotion. So that way they said in the text, many texts said like flower, like a stone, like a statue, those not going to give you any bad feeling generally. But if that particular object, like flower or something, you have a really bad history, then you shouldn't use that one until you transform that good feeling. Like when I saw the first time sunset, it was a really sad place. So every time I see the sunset, I feel sad. Long time. Now I changed that one because I saw sunset in the many good place. Now only remember those. But before, whenever I see the sunset, it really makes me feel sad. So if any object make you feel sad, feel angry, feel unpleasant, don't use even that is a statue. So basically, have to base on your emotion, what kind of feeling comes. Use that object to meditate. So that way I said 1 point in day focal object. But some people don't like that. Then use breathe. Without the object being like breathing. Counting breathe or just gently breathe in, breathe out, called the Vajra recitation. When you breathe in, say hum, breathe, holding the breathe in here with the ah sound, and breathe out with the om sound. You don't have to say om, ahum, but it's just sound of that. When you're breathing, sound of hum. Long breathe and gentle, really gentle, not moving your nose hair. That kind of gentle. And you breathe in until your belly completely full with air. Then rest there with the ah sound. Ah. And stay there calm, rest. When you become uncomfortable, then breathe out with the om sound. Slowly until your stomach totally empty. Breathe out. So that kind of method can use called the Vajra recitation. So the texts show many different methods. It doesn't mean that you have to experience all those methods. You can experience all those methods, but whatever suitable to you, use that one continually. Don't try to change too many. I think he said, changing too many focal objects is a really bad habit. Don't change too many focal objects. Just use one, whatever comfortable to you. Use that one continually until you gain the stability of the mind. It's called, earlier I mentioned the Xinjiang, flexible. Then one day you don't need to use any of those, then naturally it becomes calm. That's called the karma abiding. Now, when you have that flexibility, then when you think about the on the emptiness, then you can stay on that state of the emptiness long time. So that's called the vipassana, like mindfulness. For mindfulness, for
mindfulness.
Yeah, for mindfulness is between the Kamabhati and Vipassana. Gap of the Kamabhati and Vipassana is for mindfulness. Mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of feeling, mindfulness of phenomena, and mindfulness of the mind. In the Mahamudra teachings, a lot of time they use as a mindfulness of mind. They analyze it, where's your mind? Inside, outside. What is your color of your mind? Then you can use as a also mindfulness of feeling. You make a really strong feeling, something make really strong feeling. Make that really strong, that feeling particular, and analyze on that feeling. That's called the mindfulness of feeling. So through that analyzing, then you will gain certainty of a kind of like a what called a like you gain some kind of you get somewhere you get by analyzing. Okay, you get some points. You get some. I don't know how to say this one.
Understanding.
Yes, understanding or something you get there. To when you're analyzing, and it will gain some kind of
Certainty was the word you used,
Yeah.
is the word used in most texts. You get certainty
Yeah.
of the.
you gain the certainty of insight from that analyze. Then stay on that state. So it's this is same like a scholarly, like a Nagarjuna, Asanga, they use a scholarly, analyzing on the outer phenomena. And that is bring into your mind and stay on that state of the meditation, same. And the yogi, they analyze in their mind. One is analyzing mind, one is analyzing phenomena, but both are same. Result of those analyzation is the same come. Answer is the same come from that analyze. Then you have a kind of like a kind of a what call this some kind of like a like when you research, you get some kind of answer from that. How to say this one?
Some insight.
Insight, or you can say through yeah, well, I mean wisdom, but it's just more than that. It's a little, there's one word, but it's not coming in my head.
Essence.
Evidence, conclusion.
Yeah, conclusion, evidence, yes, evidence. Through the research, you gain the evidence or conclusion. And then you can stay on that evidence or that conclusion long time. How you can stay is because you already have a flexible of your mind with a Kamabhati. Right now, we receive the Kamabhati teaching. We never train our mind. Mind is still monkey mind. And receive all those Mahamudra. And when you receive it, teaching, yes, you get so happy. Wow, I understand everything. But then tomorrow you are same person, nothing change. Why? Because you never have that what called the steady. Yeah, stabilization. You don't have that steady of the mind. Make sense? Yeah. So even you find the conclusion, through the analyze, you couldn't stay on that conclusion because your mind's gone same spot because of the lack of the Kamabhati. So this is what is mean the Mahamudra, Kamabhati and a Vipassana. Make sense? So this is a Vajrayana. Mahamudra is a Vajrayana. That way you need the deity yoga, guru yoga, all those also part of that ritual. So I think that is what can say Mahamudra. Make sense? So then this Mahamudra called the path Mahamudra. The path Mahamudra is also Kamboba divided into 4. 1 point, free from elaboration, what called the one taste, non-meditation. So in the path of the application, the path of the accumulation, that's the Mahamudra is called the one-pointed, because you one-pointedly concentration. Okay, you stay on the state of the 1 point mind. It's mainly at that time. It's a 1 point. It's a mainly it's a Kamabhati meditation actually, not the Vipassana. Because when you gain the Vipassana, you already reach to the path of the seeing. Make sense? So one point is mainly karma binding meditation, but karma binding meditation must support with a vipassana. Make sense? So then when you have realization of the nature of a mind, it's called the free from elaboration. Because then your mind free from elaboration, conceptual. You have directly see the emptiness. Then that is the first bhumi. When you reach to the eighth bhumi, then you have a realization of the non-duality. That way is called the one taste. And that time you couldn't see any differential. Samsara nirvana as one taste. Actually, you can experience at that time, at the eighth bhumi, one taste. At that time, Bodhisattva need constantly encouragement from the Buddha. Otherwise, they can go to the cessation of the meditation, because they see one tasteness. They need more encouragement from the Buddha. Not encouragement, kind of like somebody tell you again and again.
Pushing, urging.
Yeah, yeah. Reminder. Yeah, reminder. So in the so it means that they can go to the cessation meditation easy, because they reach to the one tasteness at the eighth bhumi, because they have truly there's no duality. From the first bhumi to second eighth bhumi, Bodhisattva, there's two called the equipoise meditation and pause meditation. In the equipoise meditation, from the first bhumi to 10th bhumi, there's no different, all same. But at the pause meditation, first bhumi to 7th bhumi, Bodhisattva have a dualistic conceptual, not same as our dualistic. Their dualistic is like a remembering the dream, illusion way. But they still have the dualistic. But after the 8, they don't have any more the dualistic. So that way called the one tasteness. So Kambaba name as after the 8th bhumi, the realization is called the one taste. Then when you reach to the Buddhahood is the final realization. They no longer need to meditate, or no longer need to practice, no longer need to train again and again to reach there. You already reach, like when you go to the DC, what you do DC? You have to drive from here to until reach to the DC. But when you reach the DC, you park the car. You not drive and continually inside the DC, yeah? I mean, you have to park that's they said, I'm reached there. You no longer drive. And like when you take that taxi, then you get out from the taxi because you reach your destination. So that's why it's called a non-meditation. It's not same as a non-meditation as us, When we say non-meditation, it means the monkey mind. They stay on that state. Once they reach to the Buddhahood, no longer need continue to train. So this is in the path of the Mahamudra, divided into the 4 yoga. Yoga of the one point, yoga of the one free from elaboration, yoga of the one taste, yoga of the non-meditation. That's called the path Mahamudra. And as we call the path Mahamudra is also union of the wisdom and compassion. Union of the generation stage and the completion stage. Yeah. So through these two, we gain to the Buddhahood. Then when the result of the achieving the 4 kaya of the Buddhahood, that's called the resulted Mahamudra. Then you actualize the Mahamudra. So this is you don't need too many things change, but need certain condition for that. Make sense? Like you need support of the accumulation of merit, you need a guru's blessing. That way, these two generation stage of the deity yoga and the guru yoga, those are condition of the Mahamudra. By just staying on somewhere and just keep quiet or something like that, cannot become a Mahamudra. So I think that one. Then final is a dedication. And so this dedication is actually what called conclusion. Where's that dedication? Oh, thank you. Yeah, dedication. Why we have to dedicate it? I'm not going to read the whole the dedication part, but if you look at the 146, benefit and the quality of the dedication of the merit. Self and other all sentient beings have a wonder of the samsara from the beginner's time until the present. No understanding that dedication is the only reason for this. Previously, one accumulate the measureless merit. We accumulate the great merit, many lifetime. We accumulate the merit. We did lots of good merit. Yeah. However, having not understood the dedication to complete Buddhahood, it is exhausted when it fruition. So, like you accumulate the merit, great accumulation merit. If you're not dedicated, and or if you're wrongly dedicated, become a next life rich, beautiful, or powerful, or something, then it's wrongly dedicated. Then you will gain that one. But once you gain, it's finished there because your aim is finished there. Make sense? Or if you're not dedicated, then sometime without the experience of the fruition, it can be destroyed. Non-dedicated merit. So that way here, it is exhausted when it fruition, such as a samsaric happiness. So that way it's called a temporary happiness. Why is it temporary happiness? Because through that any particular merit, you will experience the happiness, but it's a short time. After that, it's gone. Okay? And so forth. Arise even one time. Moreover, if one does not dedicate merit to enlightenment, the merit will be exhausted by the four causes of propagation. What is propagation?
Propagation is what you make more of.
Huh?
You propagate vegetables, or
Making, creating, cultivation.
This one I think need to correct into English. Basically said like you proudly mentioning other people with a pride, oh, I did this. Actually, I saw in the Bible also, if you do good deed, if you tell to people, you lose the merit. Beginning of the Bible, I saw this one. So similar, that is one here. I don't know that maybe English word is not correct one. It's mainly said, Tibetan said, Shela means that telling to other, oh, I have done this, with a pride. With a pride mention to other. That one first one is what destroy your merit. So this translation is a little bit mistake, I think.
I think it's a good word. I think Khenpo actually did a good job because we're not looking at just cultivating or growing. We're looking at.
No, come on,
sort of
into
a
this one.
Prideful.
Okay, yeah.
uh,
So I don't know, this word propagation is a pridefully telling.
boastful,
Okay,
boasting quality.
okay, then it's good.
Because there is the connotation that me and Tracy were using, but there's also another connotation, which means the action of widely spreading and promoting an idea.
Yes, okay, that one.
Okay.
Okay, then, yeah, okay, then
It's a
this word,
boastful
okay,
quality.
okay, this word is a work that way. You know, Ellen Cahoon, we worked so hard on this. I thought maybe not that much. So
No,
yes,
it-
one is that one, propagation. One, there's a 4 cause to destroy the marriage before if you're not dedicated. First one is a propagation. Second one is a regret. Yeah, regret. When you regret, oh, I wish not give that one. You know, when you regret, you destroy it. Third one is anger. When you anger, like Shantideva said, one moment's anger can destroy 100 eons marriage. That's dangerous, you know. So the third one, and fourth one is wrong view. Actually, wrong view, even you are dedicated, can destroy it. So dedicated marriage, you see, only can destroy by having wrong view. So that way, those four can destroy the undedicated marriage. Even the fourth one, wrong view, even you dedicated, if you start having wrong view, you will destroy all the marriage. You know. So dedicated, in the Tibetan we said, dedicated marriage or the marriage from the Bodhicitta is like a diamond. Only can destroy wrong view like a sheep horn. We said that one. I don't know sheep horn can destroy the diamond or not. They say it's a sheep horn. When touch the sheep horn diamond, they can destroy it. The true diamond, even the metal, the hammer cannot destroy it.
No, that's, yeah.
Yeah, but they said sheep horn can break. We in Tibetan saying that one. In the last text, you will see that one. Lokta Lura Dawa, as I said, like wrong view like a sheep horn. Unless a wrong view like sheep horn cannot destroy this merit of the Bodhicitta. I'm sure you will see sometime the text. So this 4 cause: propagation, regret, anger, and wrong view. So early propagation, anger, regret cannot destroy it if you dedicate it. Okay. So that way you need to dedicate it, merit. You know, there's a many different way to dedication prayers. Like one of the dedication prayer said, like Kenjarabachi read today, this dedication prayer. And Jitendra wrote many dedication, but one as a shortest one dedication is this one. He wrote this gift. There his collected teaching. There are many dedications requested by the many different, but this is requested by the Sangha community. So this one by the virtue collecting in the 3 times by myself and all being in the samsara nirvana, and by the inner root of virtue, may I and all sentient being quickly attain unsurpassable, perfect, complete, and enlightenment. This kind of dedication should dedicate it. Whatever you know the dedication. Even you don't know the dedication, just say, I want to be this married to become a complete enlightenment for the benefit of sentient beings. Something like that. If you don't know the specific prayer, anything.
So, Khenpo now,
Yes.
the start of this practice is the intention of why you do the practice, because you want to help sentient beings
Yeah.
attain enlightenment. And
Yeah.
the end also, you will end also with the prayer of, because of the to help mother sentient beings, all sentient beings.
Yeah,
So preparation in the start of the practice and the end of the practice is always
same.
same.
Yeah. So your main purpose of a reason is you want a mother sentient being to liberate. That's the main purpose, intention. So then you will dedicate it on that purpose. That way, actually, motivation. So only different is first is called the aspiration, because you're not yet accumulated the merit. Last one is called the dedication, because you've done the accumulation. Otherwise, same. Only different is accumulated or not yet. That way, first one is become intention. Last one is become a dedication. Yeah. So, so now I think this morning somebody asked, what is related to the dedication and the Mahamudra? So now here, if you don't have a dedicated, your merit exhaust. When your merit exhaust, you don't have a main cause to realization of the Mahamudra. Realization of Mahamudra need a merit. Make sense? When you merit as a dedicated, it's secure. It will be there. When you need a realization of Mahamudra, it will be there. Yeah. If anybody have a question, shoot out. If not, then we can dedicate it. No? Okay. Good.